Hi guys, welcome to God's Got This World. We're going to continue on in our Bible reading, but first of all, Merry Christmas, almost when I'm filming this. Grab yourself a coffee, some hot chocolate, cookies, whatever you got, because it's Christmas and those foods have no calories and sugar won't bother you and all of those things. So dig in. Sorry, I'm wrong about the sugar. Anyways, let's go to Deuteronomy 31. And we're going to read about the final speech and the death of Moses. Well, Moses again spoke to the whole nation of Israel. I am 120 years old and I am no longer able to be your leader. And besides that, the Lord your God has told me that he won't let me cross the Jordan River. But he has promised that he and Joshua will lead you across the Jordan to attack the nations that live on the other side. The Lord will destroy those nations just as he destroyed Sihon and Og, those two Amorite kings. Just remember, whenever you capture a place, kill everyone who lives there. Be brave and strong. Don't be afraid of the nations on the other side of the Jordan. The Lord your God will always be at your side, and he will never abandon you. Then Moses called Joshua up in front of the crowd, and he said, Joshua, be brave and strong as you lead these people into their land. The Lord made a promise long ago to Israel's ancestors that this land would someday belong to Israel. That time has now come, and you must divide up the land among the people. The Lord will lead you into the land. He will always be with you, and he will help you. So don't ever be afraid of your enemies. Well, Moses wrote down all these laws and teachings and gave them to the priests and the leaders of Israel. The priests were from the Levi tribe, and they carried the sacred chest that belonged to the Lord. Moses told these priests and leaders, each year the Israelites must come together to celebrate the Festival of Shelters at the place where the Lord chooses to be worshipped. You must read these laws and teachings to the people at the festival every 7th year, the year when loans do not need to be repaid. Everyone must come, men, women, children, and even the foreigners who live in your towns. And each new generation will listen and learn to worship the Lord their God with fear and trembling, and to do exactly what is said in God's law. The Lord told Moses, you will soon die, so bring Joshua to the sacred tent, and I will appoint him the leader of Israel. So Moses and Joshua went to the sacred tent, and the Lord appeared in a thick cloud right over the entrance to the tent. And the Lord said, Moses, you will soon die, but Israel is going into a land where other gods are worshipped, and Israel will reject me and start worshiping those gods. The people will break the agreement I made with them, and I will be so furious that I will abandon them and ignore their prayers. I will send disasters and suffering that will nearly wipe them out. Finally, they will realize that the disasters happened because I abandoned them. They will pray to me, but I will ignore them because they were evil and started worshiping other gods. Moses and Joshua, I am going to give you the words to a new song. Write them down and teach the song to the Israelites. If they learn it, they will know what I want them to do, and so they will have no excuse for not obeying me. I am bringing them into a land that I promised their ancestors. It is a land rich with milk and honey, and the Israelites will have more than enough food to eat. But they will get fat and turn their backs on me and start worshiping other gods. The Israelites will reject me and break the agreement that I made with them. See, God already knew what they were going to do. When I punish the Israelites and their descendants with suffering and disasters, I will remind them that they know the words to this song, so they have no excuse for not obeying me. I will give them the land that I promised, but I know the way they are going to live later on. Moses wrote down the words to the song, and right away he taught it to the Israelites. The Lord told Joshua, be brave and strong, Joshua. I will help you to lead the people of Israel into the land that I have promised them. Moses wrote down all these laws and teachings in a book, and then he went to the Levites who carried the sacred chest, and he said, "This is the book of God's law. Keep it beside the sacred chest that holds the agreement the Lord your God made with Israel. This book is proof that you know what God wants you to do. I know how stubborn and rebellious you are, and the rest of the Israelites. You have rebelled against the Lord while I have been alive, and it will only get worse after I am gone. So call together the leaders and the officials of the tribes of Israel. I will bring this book and read every word of it to you. And I will call the sky and the earth as witnesses that all of you know what you are supposed to do. I am going to die soon, and I know that in the future you will stop caring about what is right and what is wrong. And so you will disobey the Lord and stop living the way I told you to live. The Lord will be angry and terrible things will happen to you." And isn't that the way we are sometimes, where we get stubborn and angry in the world and we stop listening to God and we stop obeying God and we want to do what we want to do, and it never works. So I want to say now, if this is what you're doing, please come back to God. Please accept Him and live your life for Him. Please ask Him to forgive your sins. Get in the Word, start reading the Word, be around other believers, get encouraged and lifted up. Go to a great church and just get back with God, because He promised He will never leave you nor forsake you. We try to leave Him and forsake Him, but He promised He will never do that to us. He's such a good God. Moses called a meeting of all the people of Israel so he could teach them the words to the song that the Lord had given him. And here are the words: "Earth and sky, listen to what I say. Israel, I will teach you. My words will be like a gentle rain on tender young plants, or like dew on the grass. Join with me in praising the wonderful name of the Lord our God. The Lord is a mighty rock, and He never does wrong. God can always be trusted to bring justice, but you lie and cheat and are unfaithful to Him. You have disgraced yourselves and are no longer worthy to be His children. Israel, the Lord is your Father, the one who created you, but you repaid Him by being foolish. Think about past generations. Ask your parents or any of your elders. They will tell you that God, the Most High, gave land to every nation. He assigned a guardian angel to each of them, but the Lord Himself takes care of Israel. Israel, the Lord discovered you in a barren desert filled with howling winds. God became your fortress, protecting you as though you were His own eyes. The Lord was like an eagle, teaching its young to fly, always ready to swoop down and catch them on its back. Israel, the Lord led you, and without the aid of a foreign god, He helped you capture that land. Your fields were rich with grain. Olive trees grew in your stony soil, and honey was found among the rocks. Your flocks and herds produced milk and yogurt. You got your choice of meat from your sheep and goats that grazed in Bashan, and your wheat was the finest, and you drank the best wine. Israel, you grew fat and rebelled against God, your Creator. You rejected the mighty rock, your only place of safety. And that's what He is, our place of safety. You made God jealous and angry by worshiping disgusting idols and foreign gods. You offered sacrifices to demons, those useless gods that never helped you, new gods that your ancestors never worshipped. You turned away from God, your Creator. You forgot the mighty rock, the source of your life. You were the Lord's children, but you made Him angry. Then He rejected you, and He said, "You are unfaithful and you can't be trusted, Israel. So I won't answer your prayers. I'll just watch and see what happens to you. You worshipped worthless idols and made me jealous and angry. Now I will send a cruel and worthless nation to make you jealous and angry. My people, I will breathe out fire that sends you down to the world of the dead. It will scorch your farmlands and burn deep down under the mountains. I'll send disaster after disaster to strike you like arrows, and you'll be struck by starvation and deadly diseases, by the fangs of wild animals and poisonous snakes. Young and old alike will be killed in the streets and terrified at home. I wanted to scatter you so no one would remember that you had ever lived. But I dreaded the sound of your enemies saying, "We defeated Israel with no help from the Lord." People of Israel, that's what the Lord has said to you. But you don't have good sense, and you never listen to advice. If you did, you could see where you are headed. How could one enemy soldier chase 1,000 of Israel's troops? Or how could 2 of theirs pursue 10,000 of ours? It could only happen if the Lord stops protecting Israel and lets the enemy win, which we just saw happen in Israel on October 3rd. Even our enemies know that only our God is a mighty rock. Our enemies are grapevines rooted in the fields of Sodom and Gomorrah. The grapes they produce are full of bitter poison. Their wine is more deadly than a cobra venom. But the Lord has written a list of their sins and locked it into his vault. Soon our enemies will get what they deserve. Suddenly they will slip, and total disaster will quickly follow. When only a few of the Lord's people remain, when their strength is gone, and some of them are slaves, the Lord will feel sorry for them and give them justice. But first the Lord will say, "You ran for safety to other gods. Couldn't they help you?" And sometimes I think we do that too. We run for safety to other people. Can they help us? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But we run everywhere except to God, who can help us. Don't you understand? I am the only God. There are no others. I am the one who takes life and gives it again. I punished you with suffering, but now I will heal you, and nothing can stop me. I make this solemn promise, just as I live forever, I will take revenge on my hateful enemies. I will sharpen my sword and let it flash like lightning. My arrows will get drunk on enemy blood. My sword will taste the flesh and the blood of the enemy. It will kill prisoners and cut off the heads of their leaders. Tell the heavens to celebrate and all gods to bow down to the Lord, because he will take revenge on those hateful enemies who killed his people. He will forgive the sins of Israel and purify the land. And I think that's exactly what he's doing right now. Moses spoke the words of the song so that all the Israelites could hear, and Joshua helped him. And when Moses had finished, he said, "Always remember this song I have taught you today, and let it be a warning that you must teach your children to obey everything written in the book of God's law. The law isn't empty words. It can give you a long life in the land that you are going to take." Well, later that day, the Lord said to Moses, "Go up into the Abarim mountain range here in Moab, across the Jordan River Valley from Jericho. And when you reach the top of Mount Nebo, you will be able to see the land of Canaan, which I am giving to Israel. Then you will die and be buried on the mountaintop, just as your brother Aaron died and was buried on Mount Hor. Both of you were unfaithful to me at Meribah Spring near Kadesh in the Sin Desert. I am God, but there in front of the Israelites, you did not treat me with the honor and respect I deserve. So I will give the land to the people of Israel, but you only will get to see it from a distance." So because of Moses and Aaron's disobedience, they both died on mountains, one on Mount Nebo, and Aaron died on Mount Hor. Now Moses was a prophet, and before he died, he blessed the tribes of Israel by saying, "The Lord came from Mount Sinai. From Edom he gave light to his people, and his glory was shining from Mount Paran. Thousands of his warriors were with him, and fire was at his right hand. The Lord loves the tribes of Israel, and he protects his people. They listen to his words and they worship at his feet. I called a meeting of the tribes of Israel, and I gave you God's law, and then you and your leaders made the Lord your king. Tribe of Reuben, you will live even though your tribe will always be small. Now this is the 12 tribes of Israel. The Lord will listen to you, tribe of Judah, as you beg to come safely home. You fought your enemies alone. Now the Lord will help you. At Massah and Meribah spring, the Lord tested you, tribe of Levi. You were faithful, and so the priesthood belongs to the Levi tribe. Protecting Israel's agreement with the Lord was more important to you than the life of your father and mother, or your brothers or sisters, or your own children. Wow, that's great faith, isn't it? You teach God's laws to Israel, and at the place of worship, you offer sacrifices and burn incense. I pray that the Lord will bless everything you do and make you strong enough to crush your enemies. The Lord Most High loves you, tribe of Benjamin. He will live among your hills and protect you. Descendants of Joseph, the Lord will bless you with precious water from deep wells and with dew from the sky. Month by month, your fruit will ripen in the sunshine. You will have a rich harvest from the slopes of the ancient hills. The Lord who appeared in the burning bush wants to give you the best the land can produce, and it will be a princely crown on Joseph's head. The armies of Ephraim and Manasseh are majestic and fierce, like a bull or a wild ox. They will run their spears through faraway nations. Be happy, Zebulun, as your boats set sail. Be happy, Issachar, in your tents. The sea will make you wealthy, and from the sandy beach you will get treasure. So invite the other tribes to celebrate with you and other sacrifices to God. Tribe of Gad, the Lord will bless you with more land, so shout his praises. Your tribe is like a lion ripping up its victim. Your leaders met together and chose the best land for your tribe, but you obeyed the Lord and you helped the other tribes. Tribe of Dan, you are like a lion cub startled by a snake. The Lord is pleased with you, people of Naphtali, the coastal people. He will bless you and give you the land to the west and the south. The Lord's greatest blessing is for you, tribe of Asher. You will be the favorite of all the tribes. You will be rich with olive oil and have strong town gates with bronze and iron bolts. Your people will be powerful for as long as they live. Israel, no other God is like ours. The clouds are his chariot as he rides across the skies to come and help us. The eternal God is our hiding place. He carries us in his arms. When God tells you to destroy your enemies, he will make them run. Israel, you will live in safety. Your enemies will be gone. The dew will fall from the sky, and you will have plenty of grain and wine. The Lord has rescued you and given you more blessings than any other nation, which is very true. He protects you like a shield and is your majestic sword. Your enemies will bow in fear, and you will trample on their backs. Okay. Wow. Shows just how great our God is and how he protects his people. So if you don't know God and you don't know his protection and safety, you don't know his love. Like that song, I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. The Lord will show you what love is. He will reveal himself to you. And all you have to do is accept him and ask him to come into you and live his life in you. And to forgive your sins, walk away from those sins, and to teach you and guide you in the ways you should go. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. It's very, very simple. So, if you like this video, please like it and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Merry Christmas, everyone.